welcome back to my channel, The Life of a Navy Wife. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. First, I would like to apologize that I have not been uploading. I know I feel so terrible. I kind of lost motivation after my last video. I felt like I was a little bit too emotional. One of my friends just texted me and she was saying, just wanted to tell you, please don't stop the videos. My best friend is away and it's really hard when he leaves. Your videos help knowing that I actually know someone who's been there and it gets better, you know? And her text just really changed my point of view on this entire channel. Like, the fact that my videos can help someone out there, that it just it means a lot to me. So that's the reason that I'm hopping back on. Now I am changing the format of my channel. I'm going to be uploading on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from now on, because doing the daily uploads was like, it was causing a burnout for me. So I think right now it's healthy for me to do uploads Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So yeah, let's hop right into the video. So if you did watch my previous video where I was emotional and all that, I'll put it right here if you haven't. But you would know that at the end I announced that I will be starting a series called Surviving Boot Camp for Navy Wives and Girlfriends. So today is my first episode. I'm so excited. I'm finally getting started. I'm basically going to do a Q&A and answer some frequently asked questions that I see online. And also I asked one support group, like, what are some common questions you have, or questions that you feel like no one ever answers. I'm gonna try to like stay focused on boot camp. I might have like a few questions that aren't about boot camp, but I'm talking too much, so let me get started. Let's get into the first question. Number 1, is BAH giving during basic? So if you don't know what BAH is basic allowance housing. It's basically like the military's allowance. Like, it's like to pay for your rent. Pay for your rent and utilities or whatever. A lot of people get married just for BAH, just so they can get that extra money in their pocket, but it is not given during boot camp, during basic. I don't know if things have changed, but no, it's not. It's a process. You have to like fill some paperwork out. It's, like I said, it's a process, but yeah, like it's not given during basic unless things change. But yeah, let's move on to the next question. How many deployments will he go on after basic? It really depends on your husband or your wife's rate. It depends on their rate. It depends on how long they signed for. It depends on where they're stationed. To give you a little context, there is sea duty and there's shore duty. So sea duty is when your sailor is stationed like on a boat or a submarine, so somewhere on the sea. Shore duty is when they're stationed on land. And from my experience and what I've seen and heard, usually shore duty doesn't go on as many deployments as sea duty. Sea duty goes on most of the deployments. I've seen people on sea duty who have gone on no deployments, and some people who go on deployments once a year. And on the same token, I've seen people on shore duty on land go on deployments, and some who have not, or some who haven't. I know a guy who has been in the military for 3.5 years, not 4 years, and he's never been on a deployment. So it really depends on their rate. And rate, if you don't know what that is, that's basically, it's their job description, and it depends on how long their contract is for. It's like so many things it depends on, but I can't give you a specific number. I'll do a series in the future on like deployments and getting ready for that as a wife and a girlfriend and all that. But for right now, I would say don't worry about deployments in the beginning, because that's further down the line. They still have to do like boot camp and then like C school and A school. Some people don't do A school, some people do, but you know, they have to go through all this other training before they even start to think about deployments. So yeah, that's that. Next question, should I wait for him? So this one girl asked if she should wait for her husband her boyfriend after boot camp, because they lived in the same state, but then he went to boot camp, and you know, after boot camp he's going to be going to another state and they'll still be separated. And she basically asked, should she wait for him? That's really up to you and your relationship. If your relationship is, you know, if you feel like this is like your longtime person, like this is going to be the person you get married to, then I would say wait it out. But if you feel like it's not going to go anywhere, I won't say break up, but I would say, like, you know, just talk to your significant other. The communication has to be there. Like, y'all have to be on the same page and let each other know what y'all want to do. Yeah, just communicate. If you want to wait, you can wait. If you don't, you don't have to. Don't feel pressure to wait either. If you feel like you don't want to be in a relationship at all, like a military relationship, and you are just so against it, talk it through with your significant other. Let them know that in the beginning. I would say don't lead them on, because long distance relationships, they're a lot of commitment. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the next question. Is it true that they aren't allowed to do video calls during basic training? They can't do any calls during basic training. I mean, they can do like their phone calls, and they have a few phone calls that they're given, like maybe 2 or 3 phone calls home. But no, they cannot have their phones. Their phones will be back home with you. They won't have any video, like they can't video call or anything like that. You can write letters and you can wait for those phone calls. And yeah, that leads me to my next question, which is, when should I expect my first phone call during boot camp? So if you did watch my previous video, you would know that I got my first phone call 3.5 weeks after my husband joined. Then boyfriend, now husband. I got it 3.5 weeks later. It really depends though. Like I said, some people might get their first phone call within the first 2 weeks. Some people might get their first phone call, you know, after a month of their significant other being in. But just be patient. Don't think that they hate you or anything. Oh, that's another thing. On your first phone call, if your significant other seems a little monotone and they just seem bored, I promise you they're probably not. They're probably just really tired, because it is boot camp. Like, they're going through a lot. They're tired. I know that's another common question I always see in like forums. It's like, oh, like, I spoke to my boyfriend or husband on the phone and he just doesn't seem interested in me anymore and all this other stuff. Girl, don't worry. Like, they're just like stressed out. They have a lot that they're dealing with on their end. So yeah, that's that. Expect your first phone call within, well, for me it was the first 3.5 weeks, but like I said, I would say within the first 2 to 4 weeks of them joining. Don't worry though, like, just be patient, girl. Be patient. Next question. Can you do a video on how BAH works while living on base? Okay, I would think that's another video. I'm gonna save that question for another video. If y'all do want me to do like BAH related questions, let me know, because I see there's a lot of questions about BAH on here. But that's another question for another video. But y'all do a video if y'all want me to. What made you choose on-base housing as opposed to off-base? Like I said, these are all like housing questions. If y'all want me to do a housing questions video, let me know and I will. My boyfriend of almost 3 years is seriously considering active duty in the Navy. I am deeply in love with him, but I'm the type of person where I need love and affection a lot, and I'm scared that it's going to be super tough. Any advice to help with that? I'm going to college and have a job, and about to have 2 jobs. I have great family and friends. I think I will be okay if I keep myself busy, but I'm just scared I will get depressed. I think she wrote that wrong. My advice when they go away for boot camp, you have to keep yourself busy, and sometimes, you know, you just have to treat yourself and know yourself, because a lot of females, the mistake they make is that before their boyfriend leaves, or husband, before they leave for boot camp or basic training, they don't have an identity for themselves. So it's important to have an identity for yourself. Know yourself. Make sure that you can live without your significant other. So make sure you can go a day without talking to them, because you're going to be going many days without talking to them if they go on deployment, or like, for instance, in this video, like if they're in basic training. Like, just make sure you know who you are as a person, so that when they leave, you don't feel so alone and depressed. And so you don't need too much of their affection. So like, I would say it's important to have a lot of self-love. If you do have a lot of self-love and you're still having attention problems, if you need a lot of attention, just communicate with your significant other. Just let them know, figure something out. You know, maybe he can help you get a list together. Maybe he can write some letters for you before he leaves. So, you know, like, you know, read this letter when you're feeling lonely, or read this letter when you're super happy. Like, maybe he can make letters or something. And then I'm probably gonna do one more question, because like I said, a lot of these questions are about housing, and a lot of them are repeat questions. Advice for civil ceremonies after boot camp. My advice, if you're getting married after boot camp, don't do it for the money. A lot of people do it because they want the BAH, like that extra paycheck. Because what I've noticed is, like, a lot of people, like, their downfall is that they got married because they could get extra money, and you know, it's not a lot extra, but I would say if you're doing a civil ceremony, just do it for the right reasons. Don't let him propose today and get married in 3 weeks so you can start your process of like all the paperwork to get the extra BAH money or BAS or whatever. Also, like, for civil ceremonies, make sure you have everything together, because let me tell you, when you're getting a marriage license, it might take you 2 or 3 tries to get it, because you know, you might not have all your paperwork together. But that concludes video number 1 of my series, which is like frequently asked questions and when to expect your first phone call. from your sailor. So that being said, I'm gonna end this video right here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, let me know what y'all want to hear. Comment your experiences too if you have been through the boot camp experience. You don't have to be a wife or a girlfriend. If you're a mother or you're a cousin or you're a best friend, like, just comment below your experience when your sailor went to a boot camp and any advice you might want to give people watching this video in the future. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna sign off and I'll see y'all on Friday. All right, bye guys.